All right, welcome back, everybody, to Smoke Rings After Dark. So we're toasting up our new cigar right now. What are we smoking?
It is a Coram Maduro Corona.
Coram
This
Maduro.
is the one that you got on sale. So
Coram Maduro what?
Corona.
Corona. It's an on sale cigar. It was in the humidor and it was pretty cheap. So I figured, well, I'm going to buy a couple of those. I think I paid $2.49 for it. So we'll see what it's like.
Not bad. I don't hate it. It's got a decent flavor.
It does. I don't hate it either. Wow. I might be going back and getting the rest of those this week for $2.40. We might rack up. All right. So we're going to do Four Roses tonight out of our Michigan decanter. And Christy is, of course, doing
Iced coffee.
Iced coffee again.
It's got half and half, mushroom coffee and
mushroom coffee and creamer.
Yes.
Creamer, lots
more
of creamer.
Creamer than anything.
All right. Smoke Rings After Dark. Tonight's discussion. Wow. So probably come as no surprise to anybody, but yeah, there's a lot going on in the news. We talked about our channel a long time ago. I guess when we first put the channel out, we were going to cover top news along with some other topics.
Try not to get too politically inclined.
Yeah, we don't want to get into government stuff too much, but when top news comes out, we definitely want to discuss it. This one, I think, for both of us, hit home a little bit.
A lot.
So we want to discuss it. We want to give our input. I think it's important. You know, our channel is about multi-dimensional. It's different things, right? It's not one subject. So,
well, and keep in mind, we're trying to be as PC and correct as possible, but
yeah,
you got to understand where I come from, a career in law enforcement, and where he comes from, a lifetime of a father in law enforcement. So we're naturally going to support law enforcement. Not saying that they're all perfect by any means.
Correct.
There is crap in every field across the country. I mean, medical, doctors, lawyers, politicians. There's good and bad in every side. So there's the bad ones that make the whole field look bad, but you can't blame the whole field for a few bad apples. But we are naturally going to support law enforcement, military, and, you know,
yeah. And
we have some strong opinions.
Yeah, so I'm just going to get some precedents before we start the video. So this, you know, we did this channel for a reason, right? This is our channel. And we want our subscribers. I thank all of our subscribers that we have right now. Thank you for being here and being a part of the channel. If this happens to rub you the wrong way, I apologize. I guess it is what it is. It's our channel, right? You can feel free to leave comments. I don't shut the comments off, so you comment whatever you want on the channel. But
you get out of hand.
I'm not gonna
deleted.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tiptoe around on our own channel and be like, well, I don't want to say this because I might offend somebody. If you get offended, that's not on me, right? No. So I'm going to speak from the heart. She's going to speak from the heart. I think we're going to discuss these issues about ICE that are going on right now, the Minneapolis shooting with the woman, and then some other things, right? There's a bunch of mayors in this thing now. Different states are in this. There's protests all over the place. I saw one today in Knoxville, Tennessee, which I thought I would not see. But anywhere you go, Michigan, they're all over the place right now. So
Florida,
I think
we have them here. We have one 20
they're in
minutes
Florida. They
away.
were in Tampa. They were in Naples.
Yep.
So let's just get into it, right? All right. So we'll start with what caused everything this time. This has been going on for a long time. It's not like this ICE thing just started, right? But this now has been the last 3 days, really, of top news of anywhere you look, anything you open, social media or anything, is that ICE officer shoots this lady, right? Unjustified. And everybody's in an uproar. Okay. So you've seen the video.
These protests that are just.
Well, let's stick with the video first. So you've seen the video. You've watched the different multiple angles now that everybody has the video. In your professional opinion, as being a retired police officer that might have been in some scenarios close or kind of like this, just your professional opinion, do you think he was justified in what he did? And if so, can you tell us why?
Yes, and I think he showed incredible restraint because there were people everywhere, and somehow he didn't manage to mag dump her. He shot, what was it, 2 rounds?
I think it was 2 rounds.
2 rounds. 2 rounds at a 2-ton vehicle.
Now, hold on a second. Hold on, back up. So for those people that are listening that don't, maybe they're not gun people, right? Mm-hmm. Can you explain to them what a mag dump is?
Oh, I would have emptied my entire magazine.
So
my magazine held 15 rounds.
They're all going out.
Totally. Okay. And they would have been going everywhere. So I probably would have been hitting bystanders, but he was incredible that he showed that kind of restraint after being nearly run over. And it did make contact with him, and he was run over and drugged just months before, like in June and July, in the separate incident. So I'm sure he was a little trigger happy, and for him to be already trigger happy and only hit 2 rounds and make contact, good job, man. Good job. So I mean, I get the reason for the protest. I think 90% of these people are paid to be there. Of course. And paid instigators, 95. Of
course.
And have no connection whatsoever to be there. And why this mother of 3 fine upstanding citizen that lost custody of all of her kids and her wife, who was standing outside the vehicle instigating and told her to drive. I hate politics, and I hate that the media spins everything to, oh, look at this. Oh, let's make this worse. Let's just feed this fire. Let's stir the pot, make it even worse, turn more and more and more against everybody. And that's all they do. And the sheep that are allowing them to make it 1,000 times worse. And then you have all these idiot politicians that have paid for all this crap.
Right.
You say what you want to, but you know dang good well to have. So I think it's ridiculous. I don't think when there's a 6-8 hour window, that's just like the protest after we captured the Venezuelan president. Within 6 hours, these people had massive banners and signs that were printed up, not something they had spray painted on their driveway. These were professionally printed signs. Within 6 hours, we didn't even have the man on the ground yet. They already had signs printed up and protested. Where the crap did that come from? So I'm so sick and tired of the dirty politics. All these people feeding hate.
Yeah.
Caused this, but they're not being held responsible. This officer that was defending his life is being held responsible, and I think that's total horse crap. So, and they've tried these in Florida. It didn't go that way for them. They tried this in Texas. It definitely didn't go that way for them. The only northern state that these protests have occurred in and got shut down was in Ohio.
Yeah. When
the Ohio chief said, you mess with ICE or any of our officers and you'll be met with deadly force. No problem.
Well, the other thing,
but the rest of them are just sheep.
Yeah, I did see something today from the Michigan governor, and she actually did say she supports the ICE.
I'm shocked.
Says that's not going to happen. You are not going to come here and do anything to them.
I wonder if she's going to feel the same way whenever they start hitting those cells in Michigan.
Yeah, I don't know. And I know Trump's planning to go there tomorrow or the next day. He's on his way there or whatever. But anyways, yeah, so I will tell you from watching it, I watch a lot of social media. I do a lot of my own investigating before I comment on anything. And I think after all the different, because the fake news will just show you one angle, right?
Of course.
But we got all the angles, everything got released, body cam footage, some other things. Yes, I think 1,000% he was justified in what he did. Mm-hmm. I support what he did. I think number one, she shouldn't have been there in the beginning. No. Right? She has kids and all this other stuff. She shouldn't.
She from Colorado?
Yes, she drove from Colorado there. So I think you shouldn't she shouldn't have put herself in that situation, number one.
Mm-mm.
And number two, I'm a firm believer that when law enforcement asks you to do something or they tell you to do something, you do it. You might not agree with it, but when they say get out of the car, you step out of the car. No different on a traffic stop. If the officer comes up and asks for your ID, your registration, and your insurance, you hand it to them. You don't pull this sob citizen crap and be like, oh, well, I don't have to. I claim this, I claim that. That's not going to fly.
That just goes back to our judicial system. That's why they do that. That's why all of these people do this. Because there's no consequences. They get it on their hand and don't do that anymore.
Well, possibly they do. But at the end of the day, we've watched a ton of those videos, right? You're coming out of the car one way or the other, right? Like eventually, it might take some time, but the window's getting busted out and they're going to drag you out of that car.
Yeah, but then they can sue.
But I think they're escalating the situation instead of just obeying what you're supposed to do. So they tell you to stop, you stop. They tell you to get out, you get out. You just listen to what law enforcement says. Now, do I believe, yes, there's some good and bad? Always in everything.
Absolutely.
They're good and bad lawyers, doctors, like you said, so on and so forth. But I think law enforcement, we've talked about this before, it's not what it was 20 years ago. Nope. I think 20, 25 years ago when my dad was in law enforcement and when you started your career, probably people respected law enforcement officers. Mm-hmm. You were respected. They listened. They didn't, you still had an occasional fight and stuff like that, but it wasn't like it is today. Today, it's all these people, different generations though, that think they're entitled. They don't have to listen. The law doesn't abide to them. They have their rights. There was an old saying, my dad used to say it many, many years ago. And somebody said something one time and he said, listen, the only rights that you have are the rights that I give you. Mm-hmm. Right? And on a traffic stop or an incident, that's true. They're trying to control a scene, right?
Well, and they're trying to keep everything safe.
Figured out and safe. So they're giving some direction. Now, you might not go to jail, maybe you're detained, but they're trying to keep the scene safe, find out what's happening, whether it be a domestic call, a traffic stop, a shooting, anything. Those officers are showing up not knowing what they're going to walk into. So the first response to them is let's make the scene safe, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I watched a video the other day, Polk County here in Florida. Their sheriff is incredible.
Grady Judd.
He is the man. Watch his podcast.
Yes, I like Grady Judd.
Watch his show. He's hilarious.
The guy.
He goes fierce after criminals, and he is fiercely for his guys.
Yep.
And they had a bunch of break-ins in the area, and there was a bunch of vandalism done to this park in the area. So they put officers out there overnight at the park. And there was a vehicle that a female officer came up on, and after hours, he wasn't supposed to be there. So she went to speak to him, and he cracked his window down a little bit, much like a sob sit usually does. So he cracked his window. He wouldn't present his identification, and he wouldn't tell why he was there. And it was just as much for his safety as it was for anybody else's safety, because if there was somebody out there, to hurt somebody, and he was sleeping in his car, say he was a homeless or whatever, and sleeping in his car, he could get hurt.
Yeah.
So it was just as much for his safety. So she did what she should have done. She backed up. She called for backup. And backup came out there, and this guy was belligerent, refusing to cooperate, wouldn't get out of the car, wouldn't identify himself. He finally identified himself as a sovereign citizen, which that immediately makes any law enforcement officer go to DEFCON 3, because 99% of encounters with sob sits leave with either an officer wounded or dead, or the sob sit wounded or dead. So that's not something any of us ever wanted to deal with. And so they were still trying to deal with this guy. It ended up, he pulled a gun, shot two of the officers, and they ended up having to shoot him. And he did the long sleep. So they did what they're supposed to do. But the problem is you have crappy politics, the worst judicial system ever that supports criminals, not they're not there for you. They're not there for me. They're not there for law enforcement. They're there to make sure the criminals can still do what they do. I don't understand. And I'm like you said, it is a lot of the way this generation and the last generation have been raised to hate everybody, hate the police. You can have your problems, and everybody's supposed to evolve around your problems, but you just hate everybody else. And it's ridiculous. But there used to be a lot of respect for law enforcement until social media got involved and the big media got involved and started spitting things and making everything, all these poor people, these evil cops killing these poor criminals. Like a criminal breaks in your house and robs your house, but he falls on a knife and cuts himself, and he sues you blind.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Now here's where it really got me. For me, this last story was when the mayor in Minneapolis got on the news.
Idiot.
And he was outraged by what happened. And I won't use the word because we just don't talk like that on our channel, but he said, F ICE. And he was like, if they do this, they do that, he's going to have like his people arrest them and this other thing. So first of all,
good luck.
It's leadership, right? Who hires a leader, number one, that talks like that?
Well, you're supposed to lead by
example.
example.
You're in front of the media and you're going to sit here dropping the F-bomb on national television. You don't deserve to be a leader. So I think number one, I've said before, he should be fired and he should be out of office immediately. That should just be gone. And so then the other one was Philadelphia, right?
The same thing.
The same guy. And then who was the other one? Waltz.
Oh, well, he's a moron anyway.
He's an idiot too. But they all the same thing. Like, they're going to arrest ICE and we're going to do this and you're not coming here.
They're not coming into my city.
They won't allow them into the city. And
I wouldn't step foot in Philadelphia.
Yeah, but they just don't understand. You don't have the jurisdiction to do that and tell them that they can't be there. These are federal agents.
Yeah.
Right? And so it kills me that they think they're going to do all this stuff. And then what happens, to your point, the political side of it, they pay these people money to go out, hold signs, cause these riots and protests, right? I saw yesterday, they're throwing bottles, they're throwing rocks at police officers. There was a guy in Philadelphia yesterday that was throwing bologna on the patrol cars they drove by. Like, just stupid, non-educated. Yeah, the hotel where they were staying, that was on this morning, I saw it. They were spitting on the officers, which is deadly force, by the way.
That's right. When you could have AIDS, you could have any kind of disease.
That's right. It's considered deadly force, but the officers are really, like, I think they've managed it well, right? They're trying to hold restraint to some point, but by the law, they can defend themselves when you do stuff like that. And that's what happened in this incident. You take a car and you drive it at an officer, you're going to get gone. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, and let me ask you a question. If every day I woke you up beating you about the head and neck with a pillow, woke you up to that shock, and then poured hot water on you, and then poured ice water on you, and then you came home from work and I met you at the door and beat you with a bat.
Yeah.
You think you'd be on a
probably not.
Little more heightened level?
Well, sure.
Sorry, the smoke's getting me. You think?
Yeah, I think you'd be on a more alert level.
Your anxiety would be a little high?
Sure.
Do you think you'd be more reactive?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what these people are doing to these officers, because every day it's something different. It's good gosh, that's getting me.
I'll take a drink. Anyways, I know what she's saying, so we'll let her take a break. Get her drink. But I think it weighs on them, right? So they've already have this in their mind, right? They've already been going through this. The anxiety. This guy now, has been threatened. He's getting death threats now and all this other stuff with his family.
They're just like a wind-up toy waiting to explode.
And it's ridiculous. And the other piece that I hate is that the younger generation now that wants to go into law enforcement, right? They're terrified because they're like, why do I want to put myself in that situation where if I do something
last a year and die
within the rights of the law, now I'm being attacked by people. There's people at this guy's house that are camping out in front of his yard, and like he has to have security now. Like, this is ridiculous. 20 years ago, this would never ever be heard of. You go back to the riots in Detroit. My dad was part of those riots in Detroit when it happened, and like that wasn't heard of. Like the police were the ones taking care of that. And I hear people like, listen, I think we need to do more than what we're doing. Like, I've listened to all these protest things going on, everybody comments, they should get water cannons.
Absolutely.
And 100%, I would I'd get a water cannon, a couple fire trucks out there,
yep,
and I would hose them all down off the street, because that's where you belong. And they don't need a job, because the politicians, the dirty politicians, are the ones paying them.
Yeah,
so that's why they're not at work.
$250 a day.
They're getting money to go out there and stand and hold a sign.
Maybe we're just in the wrong line of work.
Right? And it's so stupid. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
But you know what you don't see? This is majority liberals and Democrats, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You don't see majority Republicans or patriots or anything like that. When something doesn't go our way, you don't see them out protesting and destroying and looting and fighting people and standing across the interstate and blocking traffic and pushing cars or ambulances or emergency vehicles. You don't see them doing all that stuff.
No, you don't. And I said this on one of my social media accounts the other day. And so here's what bothers me. Let's say that thing in Minnesota went a different way, right? Let's say she ran over the officer and killed him.
There'd be nothing else said about it.
And then she drove away. You would never make the news.
Nope.
Nobody would put it in the paper.
Nope.
You would never hear about it. But because it was not the officer, it was her, now all of a sudden it's top news. So we misplaced those. Like, oh, we just don't want to talk about that stuff, right?
That's because they know there's a lot of sheep that will listen to that and feed into that and fuel the fire.
They know that it's going to get the talk, right? It's going to get people out. No different than the whole, what was his name, with I Can't Breathe.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
You know, like, it's the same thing. It's whatever can draw attention. And that's sad, because things happen to police, whether it be police officers, ICE, Homeland Security, whatever it is, all the time. But you don't hear about it because the news doesn't report it, because they know, well, that's not going to get us what we want, right? And the Democrats get involved, these liberals get involved, and now it's like, oh, here, let's make these banners, let's do this, let's put them on. Every city now in America has got a protest going on somewhere. And it wasn't even his fault. He did what he was supposed to do. And then I saw, I don't know what state it was in, but it was McDonald's. And there was a security guard in a uniform, says security. He was hired by McDonald's. He was standing outside. There was a sign on the door that they refused to let ICE agents in the building to get food. And a reporter talked to him, and he said, listen, I don't know who put that there. I'm here to enforce it. They're not going in McDonald's. This is private property, and they're not welcome here. Same thing happened at the Hampton Inn. I saw a crane taking down the Hampton Inn sign yesterday. They removed it because someone had complained up in like corporate or something like that. But hotels are now saying they're not allowing ICE to be there. You can't stay here. You're not welcome here. All these companies are against the law, I guess is what I'm saying. He was within his rights, and these companies are saying, no, 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 no. That is what drives me crazy. That's when I get involved, because now I'm like, okay, listen. If I was with the company, I don't care who it was, and you tell me, I'd walk out. Immediately I would leave and be like, I don't want to be nowhere part of your organization. McDonald's, I hope you go bankrupt. I hope people boycott McDonald's, stop eating there, don't go there ever again, because that is ridiculous. The Hampton Inn, anybody else that I see,
I don't even know how the Hampton Inn's still open.
Promise you, I will ban you, and I will never ever go there again, because I don't support what you're doing, and you don't support your United States government.
Now, you feel that way. Now, do you know what the enlistment length is like for ICE, Border Patrol, state police, any kind of federal law enforcement? Years. You believe that way, But you have all of these people that want nothing more than to be a law enforcement officer or to be in the military and serve our country and to save lives and to give their life for somebody else. But then you have all these idiots that don't see the sacrifice that they make every single day. Just look it up sometime. Look it up, because the news doesn't report the number of officers that are killed every year in line of duty. That would be just ridiculous. But they get killed all the time. And then look at the criminals. Look at the criminals that are walking the streets before they can even get their paperwork done.
Yeah, they can't even bond out. They're already out on the road.
Yeah. It's just the fact that there are still people that want to be in law enforcement amazes me. I mean, I love the job, but the job is not what the job used to be. The job is nothing but politics, and you literally sacrifice your blood, sweat, and tears, and sometimes your life for people that could really care less.
Yeah, and here's the other thing I talk about is that these people that are protesting, these liberals, right? We call them liberals, Democrats, what do you want to call them?
Morons.
But they're out there protesting. What happens when you go home at night and you're at your house and someone breaks into your house or someone comes in and kidnaps your family? Who are you going to call?
Call McDonald's.
I guarantee you're on the phone trying to dial 911 and call the police because you want them to help you. But yet, then you're out there going against them. So you can't have it both ways, right? No. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Yeah, call McDonald's. Yeah. See if they'll come help you.
Call the Hampton Inn. See if they'll come.
Right, see if they'll come, take care of the scene or go find your kids when they're kidnapped or your family or, whatever you got going on that you have to call 911 for. Like, that's what really bugs me is you want both. You want to call them when you need them, but when you don't, now you want to criticize them, throw eggs at them, throw rocks at them, throw bottles at them because you think it's your right. All that does is make you an idiot. You have no common sense.
And you're out there protesting an
something
issue
you know
that
about.
you don't even know.
You have no clue.
You're just getting on the bandwagon with all these other idiots.
Yeah, you see it on the news or on the
and somebody
social
tells
media.
You can make a lot of money coming out here and holding a sign.
Yeah, you're like, let me go get my backpack. I think I'm going to go down there and join the crew. And here's the other thing that really kills me. I saw this kid, and I think I even commented on his post. Of course, he wouldn't answer me. And he was threatening agents. He was threatening ICE agents, I think, on his page. But you know what was funny is he had like a baklava on. He had a mask.
Yeah.
All these protesters, half of them out there, you're all wearing a mask.
Show your face.
It's not COVID anymore.
Cowards.
Right? You got a mask on. They got all these heads over their face. You can't tell who they are.
Well, they do that so that whenever you're at this protest in this state, they can't match you to this protest in this other state, so then they can say that they're paid.
Yeah, well, I think it just makes
people to know.
I think it makes you an idiot. I mean, if you're man enough, woman enough, whatever you want to call it, right, to go out there, then why hide your face?
Don't be a coward.
Don't go on social media and talk a big game and say something and then hide behind a mask. That makes you not only an idiot, but it makes you
a coward.
A coward, and nobody will ever take you seriously because you're not hiding your face. I mean, we're making this video. I'm not hiding my face. I don't hide my face. If I have something to say, I'm going to tell you what I think. And if you don't like it,
it's our opinion.
That's
you don't
okay.
have to like it.
It's my opinion.
You can just like
but I'm not gonna
But
I'm not going to have to hide who I am and then hide behind something to tell you how I feel. That makes you a coward. That makes me think you lived in your mom's basement and like you played video games. No one liked you as a kid. And then you're like, oh, well, I got to like just go against everything now because the world and society has come against me. No, it's because you never grew up as a man. You don't know what it's like to be a man or a woman because there's women that do it too. And you just want to be stupid.
And society has failed
idiots and be like, oh, well, I'm just going to hide behind this mask and not show you who I am. Well,
But I got all these participation trophies.
Yeah, you participated, but you never really did anything in school. You never really excelled in anything except maybe Minecraft or something that you played down in your mom's basement. So this Antifa, right, and all this kind of stuff. I mean, same thing. Everybody's wearing black. Everybody's in hoodies. What are you afraid of?
Well, all you do is go cause destruction and destroy things and rob businesses and burn buildings down. I mean, how's that protesting?
We went out.
That is called rioting and looting.
Yeah,
That's
they're
not
rioting,
protesting.
the looting, they go in. Yeah, that's coming next. Like, they're
Destroying
looting stuff, they're stealing stuff.
police
We're gonna
cars and
set
buildings.
cars on fire. We're gonna do all this stuff. But yeah, let's hide our face so no one sees who we are.
If you're so proud of what you're doing, stand up and show your face.
You're just cowards. Now listen, we go into another piece of this because this bothers me too. I have to say what I have to say because it just bothers me. I have no problem, personally, as the United States citizen, I have no problem with people being in our country that are not from our country.
Legally.
As long as they're here legally. If they went through the legal process and they're in the United States legally, I am 100% okay with that.
And they're here to contribute.
Yeah, you're here to contribute. They get a job. They do this. Listen, I am all for that.
Yeah, that's what our country was founded on.
That's what our country was about. But when you try and come in illegally and you cross a border, however way you get into the country, and this is why ICE is out there, getting those illegal immigrants out of the country, and most of them which have a rap sheet that long, right? The murders, rape, robberies. These are the bottom of the pond scum bottom that are endangering our families, and ICE is trying to get them out of here. I'm all for that because they didn't come here the right way. It'd be no different than me crossing the border to another country illegally.
To go on a crime spree.
And I'm going to go over there and commit some big crime spree in your country. You probably wouldn't want me there either. So that's my problem. If you are not here in the United States legally, you should not be here. You should pack your bags and you should leave the country if you're not here legally. Second piece, hold on. The second piece of that, and this is my message to the liberals, the Democrats, I don't care who you are. The second piece is this. If you are a United States citizen and you're holding up an American flag and you are setting it on fire and you are out here in the streets throwing things at your police department, law enforcement, ICE agencies, whatever it is, you don't belong here either. You need to leave the country and go somewhere else because you must hate it here so much that you're doing these things. You shouldn't be here. Just pack your bags and go somewhere else to some other country because no one wants you here because you hate the country you live in. And if that's the case, do us all the favor and move on. There's other countries you can go to.
Help you pack.
Yes, I'll be happy to come help you pack your little backpack or your duffel bag and move on down the road. Yeah. You don't belong here if that's what your beliefs are. And you're out here adding to the chaos of things that are going on in our government. And you're a United States citizen. You're adding to it. I get this whole, someone's going to say, oh, it's free speech. You're right. You do have freedom of speech. It's in the Constitution.
Assault is not speech, though.
Assault is not. Yeah, no. You can't run people over with cars.
Destruction of property is not speech.
You can't destroy property. You can't throw rocks at police officers. That's not a peaceful protest.
No.
Right?
They had a peaceful protest here. It was perfectly peaceful. No buildings got destroyed. No cars got destroyed. No officers got assaulted. No one got hurt. They didn't block traffic. They didn't stand across the interstate and block traffic for hours upon hours. It was a peaceful protest.
And those are okay. I'm for that. I understand. It's the Constitution. You have the right to do your peaceful protest, but most of the ones I'm seeing are not peaceful. And I've been there. Listen, I was in Texas, and I was driving back home one day through San Antonio, and I dealt with something very similar. Not as bad as what we saw a while ago, but people had started blocking the freeway. Now, I got through it before they did that, but I was there. And it's like, that's not going to... I mean, you see them blocking the road. They're on the highway, the interstate, arm in arm, and they just stand there and won't let traffic through. Now, listen.
You think Red Rover,
boom! I'm telling you right now, this is... I'm going to tell you one time. One time, move your vehicle. Get out of the way. Let my vehicle through. Move. If you don't move, I'm going to drive my car through you.
Yes.
100%.
As fast as it will go.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. And I have the right to do that. You're pretty much, now I don't know the exact law, but for me, you're kidnapping me. You're holding me. You detained me so I cannot proceed forward.
Mm-hmm.
I 100% will run you over. And when you come up to my car, I saw a guy today that went and he was getting mad at the guy driving a truck. He took his bicycle he was on and threw it at the guy's truck. Now, when you do that, or you approach my vehicle and you all are banging on the windows and stuff with like 10 people, I'm going to roll my window down.
They can't bang on your windows if you're doing 60 though.
But they couldn't do 60. I'm saying you couldn't do it. There was so much of a crowd. This guy couldn't get through the crowd. And there was 20 people in his car banging on the window.
Because he is afraid to push through the crowd. Though.
Yeah. Well,
if you put it on the floor, you'll go through the crowd.
Yeah, it's mag dump time at that point, 100%. And then they won't be by your vehicle anymore. I promise you, they'll all back up. So I'm telling you right now, we talked about this a bunch of podcasts ago on our Protecting Your Family, I think, podcast. Listen, y'all better stay armed up. You better protect your family. Yep. You better keep what you have in your car because things are getting bad. Things are getting nasty out there. And I'm telling you right now, if you cross the line within the law limits, I will go. I'm not breaking the law. But if you come to me and cause these kind of problems, listen, I'm not playing games with you because I'm going home. She's going home. You might not go home. You might be in a box somewhere. But I'm not going to let you come to my vehicle like that. And I just think like most of the United States, you hear a lot of good people that are talking like that, right? Yeah. Texas, Florida.
Most of the Bible Belt and below.
Yeah, they ain't playing. You ain't going to approach their vehicle because them boys are going to come out and come after you.
A bunch of country rednecks.
Oklahoma, they probably going to do it either.
Like I said, it's that Bible Belt. The northern states, yeah, maybe. But what I was going to say earlier, when you were talking about illegal immigrants shouldn't be here. Yeah. I agree with that, but I also agree there are a lot of illegal immigrants here that escaped to get asylum here that I think under the conditions sometimes that some of them escaped, it was like grab your kids and you're just being stuffed in the back of a car and escaping across the border and get out and figure it out yourself.
Yeah, go through the process.
They didn't have identification or something like that, and they can't go through the process. They don't have a way to go through the process because you don't have all your, your birth certificates and social security cards and all that crap. So they're stuck. They're here at least. They're not being tortured. They're not, in the place that they were where they were being just horrible things in some of those, like Guatemala and stuff like that is horrible, but so they don't really have a choice but to be an illegal immigrant and to work whatever menial job that they can do, but they're contributing. They're not out there committing crimes. They're not raping and murdering and trafficking humans and that kind of stuff. Those I think there should be a little bit of wiggle room there.
So you think there's a gray line?
I think if they're here and they're contributing to society here in the U.S. and they're not supporting or participating in any way, in any shape or form, they're not like housing 40 illegal immigrant criminal elements in their house, then yeah, I mean.
But don't they still have to go through the process? I get if you got here that way, that's fine. So what do you do? You just live in the United States forever illegally?
But how do they go through the process?
Well, you have to go down.
If they have no legal way to go through the process.
I think you still need to go down. Wherever you go talk to them and say, hey, listen.
Well, maybe the laws need to change.
This is what happened and this is what I don't have. But I mean, because you don't know. Right. How do you know they're not going to go out and commit a crime? I mean, listen.
How do you know that your neighbor that's lived here his whole life is not going to commit a crime?
Hold on. Let me back up. I'm not saying that United States citizens don't commit crimes. So let me just get that out. That 1,000% do. We have more crime where we live than anywhere that I've seen in a long time. So I'm not saying it's only illegal immigrants in here committing crimes. No. That's not what I'm saying at all. We have plenty of our own here that are pond scum and they're terrible. But again, when they get caught, they get dealt with, right? They go to jail, they go to prison, or they go in a box. That's what happens.
Or they get a slap on the wrist and they get to continue doing the same crap they've always done.
I'm just saying, like, this thing is not going to go away. This week we heard about it in Minnesota. I promise you, next week it's going to be someplace else. This is not going away because ICE isn't disappearing.
No.
ICE isn't just going to go, okay, well, we're going to go back home now and not do anything. That's not going to happen. The Trump administration is doing what they want to do, right? I support it 100%. and you're not here, you're not doing the right thing, you need to go.
No.
So it's not going to disappear. We'll be talking about this in a week or 2 weeks. Something else is going to happen. My hope and my advice is that people will watch everything, get all the pieces of the investigation first before you start
not just put your head in the
doing
sand.
stupid things, right? And then you'll support the country that you live in. You live in the United States. You're supposed to support them.
Get out.
Right? If you don't like it here, you don't like your administration, you don't like Trump, you see people like, oh, Trump's got to go. He's Hitler, he's that. There's all these accusations that you want to make. If you don't like it here, then just leave. There's other countries you can go to.
Go live in a communist country. See how that works.
Yeah, go to Russia. Go with
Go
Putin.
to China.
Go to China.
Go to Mexico.
Go to Mexico. Mexico, Russia, or China. If you don't like it here, go to one of those, and then I promise you'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
But you sit here and cry and whine and your little tears down in your mom's basement and do all your crap.
It's because nothing has ever affected them. They're like those people that go through life, well, that's terrible, but that'll never happen here. Or, until you've had crime that's affected your life personally,
right?
You don't see it. You see it as, that just happens on TV. That just happens somewhere else. But once it affects you personally in a real way, you think, oh, well, maybe I should protect my family. Maybe they were right. Maybe there are bad people out there. Well, there's lots of bad people out there, and some of them live 10 feet from you.
Yeah, there's a ton of bad people. Like I said, I'm not saying it's only the illegal immigrants here that are doing it. There's tons of bad people everywhere, and no matter what state you're in. But what we're seeing now, I think, is there's people that should not be involved in anything that are getting themselves involved.
That know nothing about it.
That know nothing about it. That's what's making me angry. Is number one, the lady was wrong. She deserved to get boxed. That's what she deserved. She attempted to run over the officer. She got what she deserved. The other piece is the protesters that go out here. That's what really bothers me. No, just leave it alone.
Paying them.
Or just, like I said, leave the country. Go somewhere else because we don't want you here. You're just
maybe
nothing.
We need to make an arc.
You're useless at this point.
An arc. Here's a thought.
An arc.
Make an arc.
Mm-hmm.
And all the people that hate it here so bad can go on that arc.
Put them on an arc.
And just ship it off.
Could do that.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I could do that. But the other piece is we didn't really talk about these officials. So someone's got to do something about this. This mayor and this Philadelphia and Minnesota, and they're refusing this, and we're going to arrest this, and dropping F-bombs. You all need to find some new leadership. Because those aren't leaders, because leaders don't talk like that. And I would never, ever, ever be a part of any type of leadership anywhere that they talk like that. I just walk out like, well, I don't want to be following you anywhere because you're an idiot.
Well, it's just
that guy needs to be arrested. Somebody needs to kick his you-know-what, and then he needs to be arrested.
It's just like kids that are just horrible kids, or teenagers that are just, living in the system their whole life. Look at the parents.
Yeah.
So these people are acting this way. Look at their leadership. That's why.
Yeah. We just wonder how a guy like that mayor, how does he even make it in office? How did he even get that job? Who elected him?
But how did Biden get elected?
Well, that's true too.
Anyway.
I don't know. I just think we want to come on and talk about it because I think it's an issue. It's very fresh. It's about 3 days old, right? And we always want to give our input based on law enforcement background. I think, we got to talk about it, right? And we promised that in the podcast that we'd cover top news. We didn't want to miss it. So that's why we're covering it. You guys listen. The comments are always open. You can leave good, bad, negative. I don't care what you leave in the comments. It's your voice. If you're ugly and nasty, I'm going to block you and delete you. But other than that, you can leave what you want to in the comments. Or here's the other thing. Go get your own channel, right? Make your own video and post it and say whatever you want to say.
Well, and another thing nobody has talked about with the ICE officer, yes, I do believe he is justified. Yes, he should have magnumed that car. Yes, the wife should have been in the car too. Sorry. Because she was just as much of a cause and an incident.
Sure she was.
But now, even with all this horrible publicity from it and negative crap and all the horrible things, this officer is still a human being. And I highly doubt he has notches on his headboard of the people that he's taken out in his career, this was probably the first or one of very few. They don't just go around killing people every day. So this was probably something that he's going to live with for the rest of his life and be completely traumatized. But I can guarantee you within a few days, he'll be back at work doing his job, protecting people in that city and doing what he's supposed to do. But he's still going to be dealing with this for the rest of his life.
Yeah, it'll never go away. He'll live it forever.
You don't ever forget.
No, he'll never forget it. No. He'll live that moment in his head forever. But yeah, you're right. He'll go back to work, right, when he's off administrative leave.
Yep.
They'll go back and he'll go out and protect citizens like he gave an oath to do, right?
Most of the citizens that don't even
they don't even care.
Don't
the
even
citizens that are
deserve
out
to be
there
protected.
throwing stuff at him and threatening him on social media, he'll still go out there and protect you. That's what just...
Yeah, and these idiots are threatening his family and all that.
That's what irks me. And what really kills me, too, is that they threaten, but you don't, like, say who you are. Like, you want to leave a message or you send something on a note or social media. But again, you're hiding. You're hiding behind nothing, like a face, a mask, and you want to threaten somebody. You're a coward. Like, who does that? What kind of a person can do that? How do you make a threat? Remember back in the day, like you just meet on the after-school grounds, right? And you just duke it out. Be like, well, let's go fight down the street or whatever. But like now, you just hide behind a mask. You make a threat that you're going to do something to somebody, but then you're hiding. You're a coward.
Nobody knows how to deal with
it's so stupid.
Anything
you're such a
anymore.
God, it just irritates me. Irritates me so bad because it's not like it used to be. You got something to say? Come say it to my face.
Yeah.
And then we'll deal with it, right?
But people don't deal with things that it immediately has to go to violence because it's my way or no way. You're not going to talk about it. You're not going to discuss anything.
Correct.
I hate to even tip on this, but just like the Charlie Kirk incident.
Yeah.
You get mad and get all butthurt, and this is the way I am, and you're going to like it, and you're going to accept it, and I can be however I want to be, and you just have to take it. But I'm not going to take anything from you. You're not going to tell me anything. So instead of trying to come to some common ground with anything, we just turn to violence because that's the solution, right?
Yeah, there's no more debate. Like you can't have a debate with anybody.
There's no more talking.
Everybody wants to like pull a gun on somebody or do something stupid.
Or immediately it's got to go to ignorance and just...
Yeah, you just can't have a conversation. You used to be able to sit down with somebody and say, hey, we might disagree, but you can have a friendly debate,
right?
Share your thoughts, and then that was the end of it, right? But now you can't do that. And then, like I said,
how do these people survive relationships?
I don't know.
What I want
it just kills me.
Do they have relationships?
The thing is that the people know, the hiding kills me. Don't hide your face and hide who you are. Like if you got something to say, say it. Put yourself out there. I mean, you are who you are. Bring it. Let's stand right here in front of me and tell me. But so many times people will say something behind your back, right? Mm-hmm. But when you confront them one day face to face, they're like, "Oh, I never said that.
I'm your best friend.
I didn't say that." Just be man enough or woman enough to come face to face somebody and tell them what you think. I'd respect that more than anything. At least you came to me, and I respect that, opposed to you hiding behind a Antifa mask or something stupid.
Or get out of the car and confront me. Don't get in a 2-ton vehicle and try to mow me down with it.
Right. Yeah, she could have. Yeah, I mean, she want to go to the car and say something.
Right.
By all means.
The worst that's going to happen is she would go to jail.
She'd go to jail. She probably got pepper sprayed, whatever. Tased.
If she, you lay hands on somebody. But you can stand there and say your piece.
But you just can't use a deadly weapon.
You can't spit your piece, and you can't throw things at them and hit them
or drive
and
your
all that
car
stuff.
into them. Yeah, it's just a bunch of crap. I know this is going to get different sides from different people, and I know we're all different. But yeah, we said to come on here, I think, and get this out. So what's top news? If anything else comes up, I think throughout the week on it, we might discuss it.
It'll be like everything else in the media. They'll throw dirt on it.
Something else will come up.
The distractionary need for this will be gone before too long, and something else will happen.
Yeah, it's not over. Unfortunately, it's not over. But here's my advice. This is what I'm going to tell you before we leave the podcast tonight. Number one, stay prayed up. Continue to pray for you and your family. God is the only one that's going to save us. Number two, we strongly believe in the Second Amendment. I suggest that you do as well. The way things are going now, I highly suggest that you get something to protect yourself and your family. And number 3 is don't be the aggressor, ever.
But don't be a coward.
But don't be a coward. Don't be the aggressor. Don't jump out of your vehicle and go after somebody because they honked at you or something like that. But also don't be a coward when somebody comes to your house, your door, your vehicle, and they want to start something like banging on your car windows, throwing stuff through your windshield. You have to respond and you have to react.
Only if you're in the car. If they're doing it in your driveway, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in the vehicle, of course. But I'm saying just don't be a coward. Protect yourself and your family and make sure that you are doing those things. That's my advice for the night.
And
that's what I got.
Say some massive prayers for these officers that are dealing with all this crap.
Yeah.
They deal with this crap on a daily basis. But right now, I don't know. I don't know if we have some kind of election coming up or we're about to bomb something.
There's no election
some
coming up.
Political move that's coming up that they needed some distraction for.
Just always has to
go. But
always has to be something.
I just say some extra prayers for these guys and girls.
Yeah, I think for sure. Say prayers for the officers. If you see one and you can, buy them lunch, buy them a coffee, buy them a drink.
Not for McDonald's.
Not for McDonald's, though. Yeah, we all boycotted McDonald's effective immediately. After that, that's horrific.
Yeah,
but you guys don't believe me? Go
that
search
wouldn't
it.
happen down here, though.
Go search it. You look up McDonald's banning ICE agents. You'll see the video where the news crew went out there and
I'm
did
sure
that.
there's a lot of places up north that are doing that.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, below the Bible Belt, that don't happen. We love our police.
Yeah, we like the police. We support the police and help them out any way that you can. I just, you got to start standing up for ourselves because I think like no one else.
Keep them prayed up mainly.
Nobody else is going to do it. Right? I just don't see that at this point. I think now you just got to stand up for yourself, protect your own, and be prepared because you know what? It's on you. If you don't protect you, anybody else is going to do it.
Mm-mm.
And, you just got to take care of it yourself sometimes. I'm not saying it's wild, wild west and go out there causing problems. But like I said on another podcast the other day, you stay at home, you protect your own. We don't go looking for trouble, but if trouble comes to find you, you deal with it. And that's how we handle it.
That's right. And if any of you protesting this stuff up there, the Somalians and all that, if you can tell me what you're protesting, that would be really cool. Because I don't think a single one of them know what the crap they're protesting.
No, I think they're just out there to get a paycheck and be part of what they think is something.
What are you standing up for?
That's legit, which is a bunch of crap. They just want to be there. Part of the movement.
Yeah.
They call it.
Their 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it for tonight. We appreciate you guys joining the podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, it's free. It doesn't cost anything. Hit the like button, please. Leave a comment. We always like to read the comments. And we will see you guys on Sunday.
That's right. Say some extra prayers for your officers.
Yes. Say prayers for the officers.
They need it.
Have a good night, you guys.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.